the last video, I said that we were about to get started working on the air to water intercooler. Well, I lied. So what we're working on today is radiator. So I'm gonna build a bracket for the radiator to put it in the bed. I'm gonna take a little bit of steel from over here and a little bit of steel from over here and make a bracket for that. Okay? We also got some parts. So I went to Summit, my home away from home. We got a remote relocating kit, which is basically the brackets that go where your water pump is. You have the AN fittings that go in here. Then you put like an AN fitting hose barb for some heater hose, and it goes to the rear of the vehicle. So these will be welded into that thing right there. That thing, radiator. So that I can adapt to it. 16 AN female to female fitting. We got this fitting is 16 AN. You want to know what this goes in? Tell you in a minute. We got this. If you want to know what this is going in, I'll also tell you in a minute. So, now in a minute. I'm sure everybody wants to know what's in the box. Everybody wants to know what's in the boxes, right? What's in the box? Well, so we're getting rid of our old water pump. So we're replacing this water pump right here. This big monster. This thing is freaking huge. It's heavy. Yeah, so we're gonna get rid of that. I'm putting this little guy in there. So this is basically gonna mount right to that somewhere. That's what the AN fittings are for. This box is nothing but heater hose. A lot more heater hose than what I'm gonna need. I didn't have a choice. And that's it. So let's get started building the frame that's gonna hold the radiator. And after that, we'll get the fuel cell and the water tank mounted, I believe. Yeah. And then I believe after that, we're probably going to start doing the intercooler piping, and then we're going to tackle the air to water intercooler because everything else should be mounted. Anyway, let's get with it. All right, on the radiator, what I'm thinking is we're going to weld this bracket right here, and I may have to notch it to give me a little bit of room right there. All right, got the brackets cut. Weld them on. I got the brackets welded on. Just did like 2-inch tacks all the way around. Okay, just to show you how I mark this, I'm gonna line this cut up right here, right? And I'm gonna come right here, mark where the edge of that is. That's the mark that I'm gonna put my V at. Okay, so here's another thing. Let's say you're building this. Let's say you're trying to find this. Set your degree right here and then zero it out. So this is telling this degree finder that this is level. Now you got to do is slide it over here on this side. And like for instance, this is 98 degrees. So that's what you need. And you can always err on the side of caution and do 90 or 85 and work your way into it. All right, so for mine, I'm gonna do, he calls for 98 degrees, which is pretty close to 50. So I'm gonna do 50. All right, so there we go. That's 50. 50 and 50 is going to be 100. I'm pretty sure that's going to be okay because I can bring it in a little bit more. Well, there you go, man. Proof's in the pudding. It lines up The bends are the same, right? So I know you're probably looking at this and saying, well, that don't line up with this and that don't line up with that. Well, you're right, and here's why. Because that corner right there and that corner right there wasn't lined up with that bracket right there, right? I just used this to get angles. So here you go. You take this, bring it over here. Now, my corners line up. I mean, they're a tad off because I'm just freaking holding it by hand, but anywho, that's how you do that. Then, all you gotta do, weld these up, grind them down, and it'll look like you manual bent it, I guess. Or whatever. You leave the weld on, take it on, however you want to do it. There's a lot of other ways to do it. To me, this was always the simplest, the easiest way for me to do it. So, you know, maybe that'll help somebody out there. Okay, let's get the rest of it done and get it in there. When you go to do your next pipe, all you gotta do is line it up, stick your pin in there, and then mark your other tube, and that's it. There you go.
Spiral deeper, spiral lower, by my hands unmask the hour. Light of the black veil falls again. Through embers.
There we go. There's just a smidge off. Just a smidge. Yep. That'll do, pig. That'll do. Alright, off camera I went ahead and cut this. So the reason I cut this tube to fit on the inside like that is so I don't have open ends. Right? Let's say if you cut that tube like this, now you got an open end. Don't do that. That shit's ratchet as fuck. Don't do it. So put your tube in like that, seal it up, then you can put your mounting holes and mount it down to the ground. Well, it's in there, partially, kinda. It's mocked up, but we got it sitting in there. This is where it's gonna be. I'm not done with it. We're just kinda setting everything in here. So what we're about to do is put the X brace. I'm gonna put that X brace on that. So let's throw it on the table and get that knocked out.
Light of the black veil falls again. Through embers, memory bends. Echoes gather in stone arches.
There we have it. Got it all tacked in, got the X brace on. Got all the measurements. So, I don't know what y'all see, but that's 3.5. 3.5. So, all we gotta do now is weld it up. Real quick, before I get started welding this, I thought I would point something out in case y'all noticed it. This tube and this tube are two different sizes. So this is 1 inch, this is 1/2 inch. Reason I did that is because I can overlap them right here, right?
I don't ride to run from pain, I ride to feel the fire again. Every mile I leave behind gives me back a piece of my mind. I run with the wind, not away from the storm. Let the thunder hit hard, I was born to transform. Every heartbeat's a drum, pushing me through the night. I was made for the road, made for the fight. If the world comes close or the dark sets in, I don't break, I don't bend, I just run with the wind.
We got it all welded up. I'm gonna let it cool down a little bit. Throw the radiator back on it, throw it back in the truck. Okay, so we tried to fit this on there, and I'll show you kind of where I'm thinking about mounting this. So This is more or less, bear with me because I'm just propping it up, more or less going to mount right here. So if I tried to hook this here and curve that hose that much, it would end up collapsing, right? You would put it in too much of a bind. So what I'm thinking is putting a 90 right here. You're gonna come off this way, and then I'm gonna put the fitting right here. Then it'll have its natural bend in it. I think that's how we're gonna do it. I changed my mind again. So this is going one or two ways. The water pump may mount real low like this, and that's gonna make this work a lot better. But either way, I'm going hose barb. I gotta put the 16 AN fitting in replace of this. I gotta get another hose barb fitting on the end of that to go into the heater hose. But that will locate it right in here, or I'll end up mounting a little higher, and then the hoses will just come out through here. So we got some stuff to take back to Summit. So let's go all the way back to Summit. And we're back again. So we got another hose barb fitting to go in here. I've already got one of them in here. I was test fitting, and now we're going to cut this off. We're gonna cut this off and get them new fittings welded on.
I've been lost on roads where the stars burn low. Chased my shadow through the afterglow. But every wrong turn, every broken truth, built a backbone twice as strong as you. You can take my time, but not my soul. That's the only thing I fully control. Every scar that shaped my...
Got her done. Got it all welded on. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. Wow. Wow. What's in the hole? What's in the hole? If anybody watching this video can tell me, why do my welds look like this? Why are they not? Let me see if I can get it. It ain't gonna focus. Like that one looks a lot cleaner. Let's see if it'll stay focused than that. And I don't understand why. It's like it's not cleaning or something. Which it's cleaning because you can see the line. Maybe it's something about this Everlast TIG inverter. I don't know. Maybe I ain't got it set right. Maybe I got too much balance, too much frequency. I'm not sure. I'm still trying to learn that machine, so that may be what's wrong. But that's it. We got it welded. Fixing to put it back in. Well, I ran into a problem. So this bracket right here, I found the location to set the water pump just right, which I was gonna weld it right here. It was gonna stay on the frame because I don't want to mount it to here. If I pull this out, I want everything to come out with it. So I was gonna mount this here. I thought, that's cool, I can do that. Yep, well this is aluminum, so that's where that can go now. So this is what I came up with instead. I took this plate, we drilled some holes, put a bunch of holes in there. So now that lines up. So now this lines up, right? So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna mount it right there. Pretty much like that. And then that's gonna line it up. I don't like the idea of the plate because it just, I don't know, it kind of looks tacky to me. So maybe I will like make this the same size as the water pump. Maybe take the plasma cutter and cut out a circle. And then maybe it won't bother me so bad then. We'll see. I might end up cutting that. So we're gonna do it like that. I don't like the squared edges. I think that's gonna look stupid. So we're gonna take the plasma and whack it off.
2-lane black top, dust on the dash, paycheck folded in my back pocket stash, grease on my hand, sunburned neck, staying out late, chasing that check on the 2-lane black top, money on the line.
All right, there it is. 90 degrees straight. Put the gauge, put the angle finder here, zeroed it out. So this would be 0 at whatever it is, kind of like I explained in the rear end that one time. So zeroed it out. Put this dead at 90, means it's gonna be straight, means it's gonna be straight when it goes in the truck. Ew, they're pretty. Look at them welds, they're so pretty. Oh, before we put this back in, I am going to put this little brace right here, because without that radiator, boy, these legs will just open wide. So she needs a brace, keep her legs together. Got that. Got this we didn't weld the back side. Look at that. No weld at all. What a rookie. Let's hope it passes inspection. Frame is painted, so now I'm going to mount the water pump to the bracket. I'm going to grab the radiator. We're going to put it on here, put the hose on, get all that assembled and bolted down. I don't know what it feels like where everybody else is at, but man, it is freezing in Georgia right now. So, see if y'all can see these. These, like, bruh, that is too small. Yeah, that's just too small.
Hell, I'm stretching out past the county sign and just screaming loud, but we don't say a word. We just lean on the gas, let the tires do the work. On the 2-lane black top, we don't hit the brake. Fast cars, fast women. If I lose it all, I'll still raise this glass to the 2-lane black top and the boys who never pass. Knob Creek bourbon.
All right, there you have it. One-piece unit. So I'm gonna cap these off so nothing gets in there. You didn't see off camera. I'd already flushed this out, got everything out of there, so I didn't got to worry about nothing. So we'll just take it. Let's set it in. Let's set it in the truck. There she is. I like it. I like it a lot. I think it's gonna work out good. I tried to keep it as close to the bed line as I could, but a little bit's gonna poke out side if a little hangs out. You know what I'm saying? Fuel cells here. This will end up being mounted here for the vent. That's gonna be it for this video. Stay tuned for the next. I hadn't edited this video yet, So I don't know how long it's gonna be, but I'm gonna cut it here. Up next, what we're gonna be doing. So in the next video, we're going to work on the air to water. We're gonna be removing this. I'm bringing it up here. I gotta take some of the 40 foot of intercooler piping over there, cut it down so I can make sure I'm lined up with the hole right here. Cut a little section of that out, mount it on, and make sure we got this thing lined up, centered to that hole. We're gonna put something around the hole so it doesn't cut wire. Get it mounted to the floor. After we get this centered, and this is where it's gonna be, and the pieces on here, we're most likely gonna go ahead and start piping this intercooler. Go ahead and start piping the charge pipes to the air to water intercooler, and then start making our way through the cab. Or we may postpone the cab. I may wait for me to get my motor back, so I know exactly where it's going. May just run halfway through the cab, I don't know yet. Figuring it out as we go. But stay tuned, we're gonna keep knocking the videos out.